Your people's sketches will never look the same after this video. Let me explain. I'm going to show you on the screen a thumbnail of an old video of mine. This is a very successful video on the channel of how I used to paint people more from observation, following the outline. There's nothing wrong with that, and you can get great results. But what I want to show you today is gestures. If you focus on the motion, the movement, you'll be able to capture figures and people more accurately, and it can be even easier to work this way. So let me jump into it. I'm gonna show you an obvious one where, it's two kind of dancers and it's very obvious what the motion is. Now let's get started. I'm just gonna choose one of them. We'll start top to bottom maybe. So this kind of represents to me the arms of this guy. And then we have this kind of an area for the torso, kind of twisting. And you're gonna see it's gonna make a lot more sense in a moment. You get this leg doing this interesting movement here. And the other leg is kind of meeting the arm here to the side, okay? I know it looks very abstract and you can barely see the lines now that I think, but I'll make it clearer, don't worry. Now, here's the thing. If you focus on the movement, what you'll start seeing is patterns. And one of the patterns I'm seeing is, okay, this guy's kind of center of mass goes somewhere around here, so that would be the torso, right? Somewhere around here, and I'm kind of, it's a bit of an abstract way of painting, so bear with me, okay? And then maybe let's say where the kind of pants begin is here. Now look what happens. One leg is being sent forward and is very shortened too. Can you see how shortened it is because it's facing towards us? So it's almost like it ends here. This is where the knee is, okay? And then the back side of that leg, and I'm making real-time adjustments as I paint, kind of goes back, really twists and goes up high like this, and here we have the foot, okay? And don't worry, I'm gonna make improvements as we move along, but look at what I'm focusing on. Instead of focusing on the outlines and trying to draw the actual line I'm seeing, right, like the side of the torso and the line of the pants, and then going like this, which can work, again, and this is how I used to paint a lot before. I'm focusing on the movement, right? So this leg kind of has this transition into that, okay? You got to think a little abstract in these cases, and all the way to the actual foot, something like this, okay? We're going to organize this too, don't worry. This part of the torso goes to the right, this part kind of goes up, and they meet somewhere around here, and that's where the neck is and where the head starts showing up, okay? And actually, I would say it's this muscle here of the neck. And the way I see it, this splits into the actual chin and face somewhere around here, and then the muscles of the shoulders. Okay, now I have a bit of technical knowledge here, just a bit. I don't remember a lot of it, so I don't have a huge advantage over you, but just know this knowledge does play into getting things accurately. But again, look at the shift in focus, and this head is way too big. Let's make it a little smaller, okay? And I'll show you, again, this might seem kind of obvious when the figures are in motion. I'm gonna show you another example. I'm gonna clean it up a little bit. I'm going to show you another example where it might not be as obvious and you'll still see it working. So this arm kind of reaches forward like that. Again, I'm going to simplify into just these two lines, see? And this other arm is going to go over there, okay? To the other side. Now, if you want to start breaking this into smaller sections of, let's say, more accuracy, we can actually do that. So let me just clean up the lines a little bit, and I'll show you how I do that. I'm actually going to zoom in. I want you to see the details here for this one. Okay, sorry about, maybe the desk moves a little bit. My apologies. Okay, I'm going to zoom in on mine too. So to get things to start looking a little more accurate, we need to start interpreting the secondary shapes, right? So we have this leg right here, and look at how you can see the kind of shape of the muscle as it leads to the knee. But look, we have this bump here of the pelvis that kind of meets us here, okay? And then from here, we have that line of the pants. The pelvis is kind of at an angle like this, and this, you see a bit of that muscle here, that muscle mass, and then right behind it is the, I don't remember names of muscles, I used to remember a lot of them. And then the knee, and you see you start kind of bringing out a bit more specifics. Same here. There is this big quadriceps, I think, muscle. I really forgot the names of the muscles. And then it leads to the knee area and a bit of a flatter look, right? And then it's the lower part of the leg all the way to the tip right here. And then you get this kind of line leading onto this muscle that starts a little shifted to the right. You see, the more you do this, the easier it gets to see the motion. That's the thing. The more you do this, the easier it gets to see the twisting of the torso and the pelvis and all of that. So you have to do this a couple of times to see it. My proportions aren't perfect, but yeah. Same for the arm, again. So we have just one line representing it right now. So let's start developing that. So I do see the upper arm muscle, and it kind of connects here. And look, it wraps, see, it wraps around, and it connects to the pecs. I think that's the pecs, right? And it just goes kind of back here. And then from here, we get the rest of the upper arm kind of connecting. But then we get the lower arm, and the hand just kind of goes forward with a bit of a, where the thumb is. And you can keep things quite simple beyond that. Now, this is a huge muscle that I sketched on this guy, but that's fine. This actually needs to go here and go up like that. That's better. See? And all of these little touches, you start designing the shape. And by the way, the cool thing is, the more you do this, let's actually do the other one. The more you do this, the easier you actually get warmed up, which is really nice. Now, I'm going to do the other one with a bit of a different approach. So let me show you. I'm going to actually start with the head this time and try building things around from there. So she's looking to the side, a little bit to the side, right? And then the neck connects here. And look, there's a bit of a curving motion all the way down to the pelvis, where you get something interesting. So the torso is a little, it's aimed towards us. So I'm showing you here the orientation of the torso. It's kind of aimed towards us, but a bit maybe tilted to the right. But the pelvis is pretty much straight. So we get this interesting kind of motion. And when you get it, you get a bit of pinching. So let me think about it for a moment. The pinching happens, and you can actually see it here. Well, there's pinching everywhere because of the angle. So let's do that. So we're going to put in the torso. That would be around here. That's where all the creases in the cloth are, right? And look, we can just kind of rely on the gesture here almost and capture this line, see? And then capture the entirety of the arm. Look, even in an exaggerated manner, you can tell the story really well. The other arm kind of travel, and you know what, it's a little too high. Let's lower it a bit, like this. And then the other arm goes up in the air. It has this interesting kind of an S shape curve. It starts like this and goes the other way, I would say. And again, it's a little hard. You don't see everything because of her hair, but let's kind of try and fill in the blanks here. And then you get this area popping to the left, and that's where the pelvis is. And you can just use the clothes at this point and kind of rely on them. But look at how this captures it way more dynamic than and I'll show it to you again, the thumbnail I've shown you earlier. It's true that those people are walking and they're more clothed and they're in the street, and it's a bit of a different motion to it, but look at how much more this captures the movement. That's what you want, if possible, even when you paint a very small, let's say, even if you work on a painting, right, on a watercolor, and you just want to capture people in a more dynamic way. If that's something you find yourself attracted to doing, you don't have to paint people like Joseph Zbukvic paints them, or Alvaro Castanet, or a trillion other watercolor painters. And I say this because most of my channel is, watercolor painting. But if you're just into sketching, it'll make your sketches way better just on its own. I'm going to actually stop here. I love the way this looks. Again, you can bring out some more details, maybe just show a bit more structure. You can put the belly button where you kind of imagine it. Also helps you orient around the scene. But this is as simple as it gets. Now, I did say that sometimes it's not as obvious what the motion is. So let me show you another one where it's a runner, but it doesn't feel like there's a strong gesture to it. And I want to show you how you can still get that. I'm just going to use the other side. How you can still get that beautiful sense of motion. Okay, so The way we're going to do this is by looking at the envelope of the shape. I'm actually going to start with the head once again. So this person's running away from us. And we're going to get the shoulders. Now, the shoulders are somewhat balanced here. I'd say this shoulder is a little higher than that shoulder. Okay? But again, look what I'm not doing. Let me show you once again to make the point what I'm not doing. I'm not doing this. I'm not sketching the head, right? And then getting, let's say, the ears. And you can create beautiful results that way. Don't get me wrong. Okay? And then I'm going to put in the kind of hoodie here. And I'll try to get it to look good. And out of there, we're going to pop into the shoulders. What most people do is they kind of haphazardly do this. I can be a little more accurate. But most people just do this really not carefully enough, and they kind of lose the overall feel. I won't lose the overall feel, probably, but most people kind of, they really half-ass it. Okay, the way we're going to do this here is a little different. We're going to look at the pattern. So this arm goes like this. But notice this elbow and that elbow. That elbow is lower because the person is running. Their arms are never at a full balance, okay? They're at a balance, but they're never symmetrical, right? So there's an interesting asymmetry going on here. Now, we can totally express the entire upper body part like this. Now, what you'll notice is the leg that has more weight on it tends to be the part of the pelvis that's a little upward. Okay, it's not always, but usually that's the case. So you get one leg that's kind of straight, and then the other leg, see, it's kind of running and then oriented towards us, right? So on top of that, we can now build the more accurate details. So we can get this arm in like that, show it's foreshortened, right? Show it moves kind of to the back, and you can't see all of it. And then we get the upper part of the body. This kind of goes like that, and the other arm goes behind. Let's show the this kind of a thing. This will fix it. Okay, a little bit of this, and this goes actually here. Okay, and now we have where the pants are now. Look at this, is interesting. This goes a little up, and this goes a little down like this, which is a very common pattern you'll see with folds and cloth being pulled in multiple directions. And this leg, see, it starts like this, but then it totally moves towards us. It's a cylinder that moves towards us, okay? So imagine you have a cylinder. Oops, you can see. Imagine you have a cylinder, right, like this, but then tilt it like this so it moves towards us. What would it look like if it moves towards us? Just like this leg looks. It's going to move towards us. See? Wrap a rubber band around it, and you can see, wrap a rubber band around it, moves towards us. Now, the leg does get narrow the lower it goes, so that negates the fact that this part is wider. But it's still 100% moving more closer towards us, and then you get the foot, which we can kind of simplify in this example. The other leg, however, that one's longer because it's not moving towards us. There's no foreshortening, see? And you, even for a figure where and I would go actually this way, even for a figure where the motion isn't as dynamic as you'd think, you can still really convey that sense of running really well. And you can see this everywhere. So my suggestion to you is, if you're a little, maybe let me zoom out, if you're a little, if you're struggling a little with figures, try to think like, how would I describe this in just 2 lines? That's a good place to start. Sometimes it'll be difficult, like with this one, but for the previous ones, you can, in fact, describe a lot of them with 2 lines. So that'll be like 1 for the arms, 1 for the torso, right? Try and see how you can describe the things you're seeing with 1 or 2 lines. Then, on top of that, you can start adding the more analysis of the shape of the torso. Let me show you one more kind of form of this type of analysis. If we go back to our previous reference photo, we have the guy's torso, like this. And then the pelvis is at a bit of an angle there to the torso, which means you get a bit more pinching on this side. Imagine that the skin is stretched here, but here it pinches a bit. And that leads you to the shape of the torso, where the legs come from, right? One leg and then another leg, right? Now, if you're able to just figure out their orientation in space, right? So the torso is in this direction, and then the pelvis is kind of like this, right? You understand why it's pinched. You understand why there's a pinch here. And on top of that, you can start putting in the details. You can start putting in the different muscles, the pecs, and then get all the way to the delts, and even start putting in the neck, and whatever it is you want. The six-pack you can start kind of placing on top of that. And again, I'm no expert, but you can start seeing how this connects to a shape. I'm not an anatomy expert, right? But I am an expert, I think, in conveying what I'm seeing. So then you have the pelvis, and then the leg where it connects. And there's a lot of nuance here. The way the leg connects to the pelvis isn't as straightforward. There's this dip here, actually, in the shape of the, if you really want to look at it as a three-dimensional shape, there's a lot more nuances to it, but I don't remember all of them, and it's not really important for most people. For the vast majority of people, you don't really need it. What you need is kind of the basic structure. So if you're struggling with people, focus on the motion. There's a ton of tutorials on gesture drawing on YouTube. That's your lane. That's where you want to go 100%. It will help you with other subject matter too. Animals, landscapes, seascapes, boats, buildings. Motion and gesture is everywhere. I hope this was helpful. If you want to receive credits at the end of the video and then support my work, you can check out my Patreon. There's a couple of exclusive processes over there too. And I'm really grateful just to have you here. There's also the Draw Anything course. I don't usually link it. I'll link it down below. It's a bit of an older one, but it does have some great lessons. So especially if you want to paint in a very natural approach, kind of seeing things and sketch them as you see them, a little different from what I'm doing here, though I do cover gestures there, check it out. I'm going to put it, probably the first link in the description is going to be the Draw Anything course, and then the rest of it. So thank you so much. We'll see you in the next video. By the way, YouTube thinks this video is one you'll enjoy next, so check that out too. Really appreciate it. We'll see you soon.